Alright, let us continue on with that case. Because it's not over yet, even though we figured out what the plan was. This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. Yep. Well, what? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony. Huh? Dahlia's testimony. They both collapsed, right? I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and they both collapsed. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Yeah, it is interesting. We don't know what happened there. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Okay, stabbed in the back. Makes sense. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Duxram. No, Misty Faye. Yep. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. It's not Maya. This isn't over? No, it is not. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. What? The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. Who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? Is it Mia? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. Maya? No, it's Mia, right? You mean Maya? She collapsed. She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. She's already there. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Great. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Wright. I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. Blam. This time, you are going to have to do this by yourself. Why? Mia's right here. That's enough. This court is now in recess. To be continued? No, okay, good. February 10, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. I am truly sorry about everything. You should not have opened up the thing, but whatever. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. Correct. That is true. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, did you kill? Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. Is Sister Bikini the one responsible? I don't know. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hathakura Temple. I don't think that would have helped. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about anything, and she was a criminal. Killed people. That's why I promised that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But you weren't, you refused to do it, right? But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up killed by and this guy too. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. Yeah, he killed himself on the stand. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. She was. Some people? You must mean... Yes, two defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, wait, what? Who was getting too close to learning the truth. Ah, so he was the attorney she had poisoned. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris. There's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Duxnam, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. Okay. Sure. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone that she has. Beep. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. Bikini called you? I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. Sure. But oh, it's got caught on fire. The path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? Who was talking to you? Someone sent the body over, but who? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. That white noise out of here. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile and set up the scene. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shishishitsu to Misty Faye. Oh, she didn't want anyone to know she was Misty Faye. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Who was talking to you? Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. Oh. I see. Victim staff updated in the court record has a sword hidden inside, the actual weapon used to murder the victim. But who? Defendant. Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright, can a lawyer accompany her? Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, why are you blushing? Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. Dot. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Hey, Mia. Yeah. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. Yeah, her mother died in front of her. I see. Oh, you don't mean she's learned who Elise Duxnum really was? Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Is it you? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. Who else was there? Is it Pearl? That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura temple site by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple site for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. But why? Why all by myself? He's right here. To be continued. Your content, please do it. This is like what? 4-3? 4-3. Trial. February 10, 3:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Yep, it's only me. Now then, before we proceed any further, I am going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. Incredible. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. No. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Was it Maya's blood? Then whose was it? It was Maya or Pearl, either one. Dagger updated in the court record. Found stuck in a pine tree found stuck in a pine tree in Inner Temple Garden. The blood doesn't match the victim's. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I have heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So, let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Yep, agreed. He said the same thing. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. It is her. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is... I am the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Right. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you are a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Duxnum's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see anything. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. Okay, give me a sec. Alright, pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But I... Slam. Your mother was killed right in front of your own eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. It's true. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. No, she has not. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. What did you say? That's the important thing. Witness testimony at the inner temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. What prep room? Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me, blood. That's when I lost consciousness. Oh, that's it? Okay. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I am sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Ha! Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Yeah, she's weak apparently. So, at the inner temple, cross-examination. Let's do it. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Hold it. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. Is it Bikini? On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazagora Temple. Can't have been her. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Who did it? Who hit you? Ah, well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya is really having a hard time. What could I do? Keep pressing, I mean. Come on, Maya. This isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, dark. Oh yeah, that's right. It was dark. That's it. It was dark. It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was an earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime. Which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. It was Pearl, that's why she's hiding. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Buckingham, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hmm. Very well. Please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. Hold it. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at that time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. What? Why? So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? Um, my name is Maya Fey. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Come on. Great. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory because it happened to me. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. It happened to me once, but that's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? I think I screamed, help me. Hold it. You think you screamed, but you're not sure. Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I am certain I would have soiled my robes. Great. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? What did she scream? So you're certain that you screamed help me? I think so. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's gotta be what I screamed. Ha! Is it all that strange, right, for her to have screamed help me? No, but something about that bugs me. Why would you face someone that's trying to kill you and go through the trouble of screaming for help? Alright then, witness, go on with your testimony. Oh, okay. Then something warm splashed over me. I think I screamed, help me, hold it. You think you screamed, but you're not sure. Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark. Was it a man? No idea. My last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No, no, no. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Great. Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming for to that's who I was screaming to for help. Hmm. Ah. Hmm? What is it now? It was Pearl. I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? The witness. Are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I am. Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. Nah, what have I done? Ha! It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. Can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness. The information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Give me a second. Alright. Now you just said it was dark, so how could you see the person with light? But whatever. Then something warm splashed over me. Let's start with this first. You don't mean... was it... I didn't know it at the time, but... I think it was probably blood. Is she saying that's when Miss Duxnam, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. Hold it. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that? No. I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I am absolutely certain she's hiding something. One second. Alright. So yeah, let's press here. You could see a man. It was not a man. Also, the light was off. There's so many problems here. A man. Who was this man? Well, you see... Oh great, 1 second again. Okay, hopefully no more problems. Well, you see... I couldn't see. You just said there was light. You couldn't see. She's used this excuse twice now. Well, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. Was it on? They always light it when an acolyte is in there for training. You just said they don't. Lady, you're contradicting yourself. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Okay, but when you said it was dark, right? In this one you said it was so dark, I couldn't see anything. Who did it? Who hit you? Ah, well, I didn't see. From behind. In front of you, I could not see who it was. Oh, let me think. I can't remember. The presser again. Come on, Maya, it's making sense. Why didn't you see the person? Oh yeah, it was dark. It was dark. It's not good to have too much light around. What? What are you talking about? You just said it was a light. It was lit. What happened afterwards? My attacker was blocking off in front. You think? Did a panic or two things? She thought she was gonna lose her memory. I think I screamed, help me. You think you screamed, not sure. Complete wreck. Dark. Was it my attacker? Was it a man, adult, child? I was so scared. Okay. I could see a man behind my attacker. A man? Who was this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. Lantern light. Yes. They always light it. So I could see first one near the light sources. So she could see the person far away but not the one close. Something warm splashed all over me. You don't mean I didn't know it at the time. It was probably blood. She was killed. Paralyzing fear. The blood got everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? No idea. Doesn't know what happened. That's too bad. And right now she's hiding something. Who else was on the inner temple side? Well, Sister Bikini. I remember her saying Iris would come. Okay, did she come? Well, let me think. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come when I was prepping. Someone struck me over the head. I think I screamed. I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Was not lit. You're done. It was not lit. So, there was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Uxnam, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer, Maya. Know who killed your mother, don't you? Well, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? No. To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. What do you mean? What problem? Maya. On the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? Yes, it's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Why you lying, lady? Order in the court. Mr. Gadot, explain this. Coffee time. And add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Cafe au lait? Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I am a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Objection. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, Then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick, may I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No. Order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Right. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? The bridge was on fire, wasn't it? There was no other light source at the scene. Objection! There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Oh. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Him? It's a her, right? A cover for the man that killed her mother. There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Was it me? Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I am begging you. Ha! You talk a good game, Wright, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. Can only mean the guy is me, probably. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I am a lawyer, an officer of the court. I am here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Oh, there's not even a me on the list, by the way. It had to be Pearl. Right? It looks like you've proven a well-known fact. The fact that people really can't see in the dark. You're just the man I thought you were. You should try a nice sweet cafe au lait at least once in your life. Great. Bang. But I'm sure she saw the killer in the dark. So the answer is clear. What is visible in the dark? Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got again. Save here, so closer save. Who was this person that Maya saw? What can you see in the dark? What can you see in the dark? Man, she's saying. Man. Only men are Godot, Gumshoe, Laurice Duxnam, Miles Edgeworth. And it's not Pearl, apparently. What can you see in the dark, she's saying. What can you see Only in the dark. It was Gadot. His mask can be seen in the dark. Oh, I'm right. What the hell? Because it was pitch black, Miss Fay was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Yeah, conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom, be turned off. It's done. You can see his eyes probably clearly, right? Hmm. Well, this is. But it can't be. Cadot, right? Ha! That was a nice bit of deduction, right? Yep, his eyes are clearly visible in the dark. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Why did he do it? Why is he the bad guy? Order, order, order. Trying to save Maya. Prosecutor Gadot, what is the meaning of this? More coffee. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha! Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. Yeah, you're wrong. I never saw that. Maya. I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. Incredible. What? Witness. Mr. Wright, what the objection? Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? Wait. If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Wait. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... No. The killer, witness testimony. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. It was cleaned up. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up as too. Right, not as well, too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. It was Pearl. It has to have been Pearl. Then she burned the letter. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No. No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Gadot said, you are utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. So we should be postponing this trial, but I guess you can't. 3 days. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Alright, I still think it was Maya, Pearl who did it. The killer. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. Hold it. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple, it could only have been the killer. Hmm. That's what I think too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. Was it Godot? I doubt it. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Hold it. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. Hmm. I don't know. It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Okay. The torches were lit and the body was gone. Hold it. The torches were lit. Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it would be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, then there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. One sec. Alright. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. Well, she does say one more line. And all the snow and all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up. True. Not true. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The big square. The snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple. But they are all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. Another second again. Alright, I'm back again. Hopefully no more problems. Let's see. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue. But I think this will help explain them. No? Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. How do you know alone? So, you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes. But earlier you very clearly stated that saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. Was it me? But for what purpose? Why do all of that? I don't think it was me. I fell in the river though. Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Probably. Okay, press here. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The blood. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. Well, what? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened. Yes, I'm sure of it. But didn't clean the blood. It had to be Godot. Godot couldn't see it. It has to be him. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. You saw he couldn't see the blood on the thing. He can't see the color of blood, I think, red. That's why he had to clean up so much of the snow around to make sure he got it all. Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. They did it for your sake. Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Kurian killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? The torches were lit and the body was gone, and all the snow around the sun had been cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I assume it was a man. Can I present Godot that Godot could not see the blood? So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes, but earlier you very clearly did that. You saw a man. Nick, I'm sorry. When I came to, I was just lying there. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden. Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. The person that carried you into the inner temple could only have been the killer. That's what I think too. Killer carried Maya to the inner temple. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Hold it. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene? There must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did. I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. They did it for your sake. Well, the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If a real entity would have come out, it would have been terrible. Yeah, Master Korean saved by daughter. Got it. But still, it's difficult to fathom killer motive, protect you. Torches were lit and the body was gone. Torches were lit, yes. Whole scene had changed. It was the killer who did it. Why did he remove the body? Very well, let me hear more about the condition of the crime scene. All the snow had been carefully cleaned up. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow. The snow was removed, a nice looking rectangle. There were a lot of shovels, they're all too heavy for me to use. Victim's blood. Perhaps something bothering me. There was no need to remove that amount, that's true. Just scooped up the one with blood. It's obviously Godot. I assumed it was a man. Okay. It's Godot. It's Godot. It's Godot. He can't see the snow. For my sake. It's for Mia's sake, really. What is it? I mean, I understand the whole thing now. Went through a lot of trouble, moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Lost consciousness, yes. Victim was stabbed, carried to the temple, only be the killer. That's what I think too, so he carried her in. Take it up for my sake, did it for your sake. Rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? I don't know, because she's the master of Korean? Doubt that. Ah, okay. Well, he did it for you, but then why leave the lantern with her name on it? It's Godot, we know this. The body of Elise Luxnum was carried all the way to Hakazura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. Oh, yep, that's his thing. That's how we get him. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. Because they couldn't see it. Order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? No. Indeed. But it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
Objection!
What objection? You're the one who did it. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Yep, I do. It's because it's you. You can't see red, apparently. Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was. Yeah, I know. He wanted to protect Maya. But it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? Didn't notice it. Damn true. Prosecutor Gadot, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? It's Godot. There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to see the bloody writing? It's Godot. Mr. Godot. This is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Wait, you can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Ha! Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. He couldn't see it. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Trebian. What? Oh, this is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. And somehow spilled coffee on. And you can't see the blood. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. I never noticed it then. Why have you not explained the blood stain to the court? Blood stain? What blood stain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. Yeah, red on white. You could see the coffee on the white apron. But you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. You can't see my tie either. Ha! It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? He has to. Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Gadot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I have finally figured out the truth. Can everyone shut up? Holy shit. Thank you. Mr. Gadot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Gutnam, also known as Miss Misty Fay. Hard to believe this may be true, however. Once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha! Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on. Come on, how does a little graffiti make me into the killer? 1 second. And wait. Oh. Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written on there. I am certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, right? The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Obviously. Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he just take that area? Ah, could it be? He couldn't see it, obviously. I thought this was known. Alright. Yes, why didn't he just take that area? Ah, could it be? Yes, he can't see it. Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so, he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection!
What objection? Slam. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? He lit the torches. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Gadot? Hold it. He goes hold it. Wait up just a minute. Maya. What is it, witness? Mr. Gadot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Objection. Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I am eek. After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. He didn't? I am afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. As her. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. So please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya. Do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? I can't do that though. If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we are going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Wright. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. What happened to the testimony? But little Pearlie was there at the inner temple too. Oh, okay, here we go. Witness testimony after the incident. Pearlie was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. Don't say you're gonna blame it on Pearlie now, come on. Anyway, I thought she was protecting Pearlie at the start, but maybe she's not. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. And